Welcome to the Weekly Hit. Great to have you with us. Tonight, we talk about the burning issue over the last 2 weeks, the infamous homestead of President Jacob Zuma, Nkandla. For those of you who haven't been following the whole thing, let's do what most people do these days when they need to catch up. Wikipedia, a place where you can do anything flies and is deemed correct, much like our government. Nkandla is described as the private home of Jacob Zuma with a rondavel architecture and is still under construction according to Wikipedia. Not anymore. Note the amount at the bottom there, R250 million. For that much, I wouldn't just expect a fire pool. I mean, at least have a trailer door and maybe Macaulay Culkin guarding your house. Then you might have got away with it, Jacob. Imagine having this. After being found guilty of violating the Constitution, President Zuma will now have to pay back the money. And he came out to apologize to the South African public on April Fool's Day. How fitting.
It all happened in good faith, and there was no deliberate effort or intention to subvert the Constitution on my part. The judgment has helped me and my colleagues to reflect deeply on the entire matter.
Okay, wait just a minute. I haven't heard any sorries yet.
I apologize on my behalf.
At last, finally we say goodbye. This is the change South Africa was waiting for. Clean up the government, throw away the corrupt, and march towards a better future. And the ANC Youth League were the first to come out and hopefully condemn President Zuma.
They will not succeed today in Parliament because even after Parliament, Zuma will still remain president of this particular country because there is no constitution or finding of a constitutional court that have said President Zuma must be removed.
What? No, the decision doesn't explicitly say Zuma has to be removed, but common sense does. When a president does something of this magnitude, they get removed. It happens. Well, at least the Umkhonto we Sizwe's veterans wouldn't take this nonsense.
All structures of organization to support our commander-in-chief, Comrade President Jacob Zuma, and the alliance partners.
Even she can't believe what she's just said. Look at that again.
And the alliance partners.
No wonder she loves President Zuma. They both went to the same shitty public speaking class. But the opposition, at least, will get a chance to impeach President Zuma. But not before good old Julius Malema had his chance to make his views felt.
The court said this person has failed to uphold, defend and respect the Constitution. That is an oath of office. So once you fail to do that, no one can argue, not even a Deputy Minister of Justice. You want us to continue as business as usual. The Speaker of Parliament doesn't get removed, the President remains, the legal advisors of the President remains. Even after that Constitutional Court, no single individual has been held accountable.
Some very valid points there. But then things got a bit like kids in a playground. In other words, everybody wanted a piece of the president, and tensions ran high.
Can Honorable Julius sit down, please? I want you to raise the order.
Hey man, I'm not going to sit down right now, man.
Sit down. I want to raise the order.
Hey, who is he to tell me to sit down?
The other side said foot tag inside the house, and that is out of order.
Jacob Zuma was foot tag.
Racing on the thunder.
Yes.
I'm holding on for the light of the light. I need a hero.
I will fuck you up.
Oh.
Stop thinking through your stomachs. Use your brains to think.
Okay, some of those weren't exactly in South Africa, but you get the point. Tensions were really high. Nonetheless, this was when it came down to the crux of it. Having a vote to remove President Zuma from our seat of president. And what a chance it was to make a statement.
I now put the motion as presented to us by the leader of the opposition. And those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the noes have it.
What are we, in the 1800s? This isn't the yay or nay situation that we saw centuries ago. At least ask Gwede Mantashe to get blindfolded and write people's votes down if we have to. Still a better system than what we just saw. Still, after some convincing, a more sophisticated vote happened. Was the president finally removed? Let's see.
Honorable members, the results are as follows. The yes are 143, the noes 233, no abstentions. The motion is therefore not agreed to.
No!
Stop voting things. Every time you can't argue, let's vote. Let's vote. Bloody voting kettles.
Fair to say, many people were not pleased. Jacob Zuma was kept in by the very same people who knew that if he was voted out, they'd be going down with him. But the only hope from this was a certain bromance that was forming between two very different individuals.
Today, that we are far from finished on this matter, and we will take all unnecessary action to make sure that justice is served. The ANC can't use its majority here to absolve a president from criminal and corrupt act.
No, I think you're fine.
Malema, given the chance to speak, doesn't. You could see the harmony between Musi Maimane and Julius. They could be our new Scooby and Shaggy, our new Cheech and Chong, or South Africa's own Laurel and Hardy, a duo to fight Jacob. But on a side note, are we being a bit too harsh on Jacob? I mean, he is going to pay back the money, and he certainly was sorry, as we saw earlier on in the show. So let's look back at the last 2 years about what Jacob had to say about Nkandla. Maybe we can find some compassion for him after all, and maybe forgive him as well.
Nkandla. You can't sit and finish a year discussing a house of one man. Just one man. A house. Just a house. Nkandla. Thixo waseGeorge Cook.
No, not quite. Not much compassion there, to be honest. He deserves it. But let it be known that the dream of a democracy that we've all imagined since 1994 is slowly but surely, whether you know it or not, coming true. The corrupt are being caught in government. In this case, the president himself. Long may it well continue. We'll be remembering this for a long time. A little house in Zululand, reinvigorating and awakening the South African consciousness. It will be a key moment in our history. Thank you. And good night.